Kindly Chang's waiting for us, which seems to be a recurring theme. Very nice city, but I want to zoom out so I can see where the fuck I'm going. Oh, who the fuck is... Hello? Kindly Chang? Kindly's place reeks of stale cigar smoke and fresh urine. The clicking of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Chang. She beckons to him with her finger and he struggles towards it, a loud rustling of the plastic tarp, crackling under his knees as he moves. His pants are wet with fear. An acetylene torch lies on the table at Cheng's right hand. Kindly Cheng ignores the scene. She behaves as if all is right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? I had a bad dream? You register a brief hesitation before she responds. You poor darling. Perhaps it's the food here. I understand it can be a bit too spicy for outsiders. Still, a bad dream is a better way to spend the night than getting a bullet in the ear while you sleep. She flicks a mahjong towel at the kneeling man's head. Wouldn't you agree, shitbird? She indicates the kneeling man with an incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competition got to you first. My men found him outside the trawler you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed and that your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. Oh, fucking Mr. Bao, hello! Nod at Strangler Bao. Bao inclines his head 1/4 of an inch. She addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything, I swear. We just got the orders last night. He pushes his head towards you and moves from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Somebody high up wants these two dead. The whole department is on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up? The old woman lifts her foot, taps his chin with the toe of her shoe. How high? The cop looks up at her, looks around the room filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it slowly and winks. It was his dick. The cop drops his head to his chest. All the way up. It's someone on the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead? Cheng spits on him with sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. The cop wears the spittle. He never lifts his head. It's the truth, madam, I swear it. Whoever it was labeled them as terrorists were to terminate with extreme prejudice. Kindly Cheng shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her hand. Then she slowly digs her fingers into his scalp. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The triad boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of his head and smooths his buzzed-cut hair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the Executive Council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill 2 nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Yes, but why the need to label us international terrorists? She strokes the policeman's cheek with the back of her hand. Her rusty voice becomes sweet as she explains the way of the world. Propriety, my darling. When the government has someone gunned down, they prefer to make it appear justified. The people feel safer when their murderers feel like part of civilization. My, but you have definitely fallen into the deep end of the pool. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the government. Here, the corps are the government. The exec council is chosen by the corporate board of governors. They're basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots, neat and efficient. Kindly Cheng steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigars. For the wage slaves and the civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room. But not for us. The triad woman takes a long pull from her cigar and taps her ash on the kneeling cop's head. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Hiyoi, shitbird? No one, madam. I hadn't called it in yet. I wanted to kill for myself. No one knows they're here, I swear it. She turns to her enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with the PDA in his meaty hands. He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls on his PDA. Very good, thank you, Bao. She nods at the cop. Thank you for your honesty. In one smooth motion, Silencer Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it once into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. I was wondering what we were going to do with him. Cheng takes a drag on her cigar, indicates the body. He knew, my darling, he knew. She balances her cigar on the shot glass, picks up some mahjong tiles and begins playing with them absently. It's clear that our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And this executive council member wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks her tiles one by one. Click, clack. Now they want you dead for it, too. Click. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day, too. She knocks the pile over and it clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweets. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightjar and Gutshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of deniable assets here. Players unaffiliated with the triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourselves resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be a positive in this line of work. See, Duncan, I knew it. She wants us to become Shadowrunners. Yep, you saw that coming. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. She nods at the body on the floor. The pool of blood on the plastic wrap continues to widen. You have safe harbor here in my town and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toe in the waters of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, what this prosperity could mean. You're putting in a lot of effort to help a pair of foreigners. Not foreigners, my sweet valued business associates. I need to learn who killed one of my clients and then ordered the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops and she becomes deadly serious. This is a brazen disregard of my power. Fate dictates it must be confronted or I stand to lose everything. Isn't it a liability that we're Westerners? Oh no, on the contrary. There's a good market for out-of-town talent that's just waiting to be exploited. Plus, you're unknown. A surprise, if you will. I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what our clients cannot do for themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings. You make a lot of new very quickly. It's very civilized. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you and help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You're completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly, Chang will be your partner. Wu's hands go to his hips. He drops his head and shakes it a little, amused. It was just like you said, Phineas. Shadowrunners. Glad I had some time to think about it. Process. He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Fuck it, I'm not a cop anymore, that guy's dead. I'm in, what about you? I'm in until I can clear my name and get the hell out of Hong Kong. I'm gonna find out who killed Dad. If I thought that Raymond was dead, I'd agree with you. But he's not. Raymond's alive, I'm sure of it. So I'll run the shadows as long as Ani Cheng keeps up her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then I'm gonna find my father. Then it's done. Hiyue is now open to you. She gestures to her lieutenant, who raises a finger to her ear and whispers it into her sleeve. First order of business, Phineas Irk and Duncan Wu don't exist anymore. You'll need street names. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. I think we've already got you covered, Gun Show. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was going to stick. It has stuck. Gobbet, Isabel, we'll handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. She didn't say Nightjar. All the jobs I line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squat boat. She's pointing at you. Got it. Why him? It's a simple process of elimination. Isabel isn't the leader type. You got that right. As for Gobbet, let's just say Gobbet doesn't have a head for business. Not my thing. And then there's Gun Show. The jury's out on Mr. Gun Show. Meaning? Meaning there's a lot going on in that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. Fucking, yeah, I'm gonna shit talk my own brother. Gun Show will be fine, trust me. Nah, so I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst? Oh, my sweet, don't put it that way. You're the most equipped for the role. She's making sense. You're the right person for this, Phineas. I had a handle back in the Barrens. Stubtoe Williams. Guess it's time I dusted it off. Wu shakes his head, eyebrows raised. Gonna be weird calling you Stubtoe Williams again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Stubtoe Williams. I guess this is our new crew. Welcome to the Shadows, Stubtoe Williams. That's gonna get less serious as the game goes on. Activate the mission computer. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open the crew advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level, you may choose one of two possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Interesting. Ooh, there's the button. Lethal Force. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that fires a single shot of incendiary ammo. Pierces 2 armor. Beanbag. Duncan gains a rifle ability that does 2 AP damage and imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. Oh, crowd control for sure. What do you get? Oh, espionage. Isabel gains the Tar Blaster 1 program, an upgraded version of Blaster that also sticks enemies in place for 1 round. Isabel's grenade launcher can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. Huh. 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 Yeah, I like it. And then we're just never going to use you. Spirits will never break away in the first 2 rounds after summoning them. Holy shit, I took the wrong totem. Are you sure you don't want to confirm these selections? I sure am. And then also, I got a lot of karma I need to spend. Hit points increased by 10. Let's get some body. And then let's get some summoning. Is there a new barrier? Can equip Hellstorm Barrier. It's beyond the maximum for trolls, luckily. Increases the chance to hit with conjuring spells. Can equip Lightning Barrier. Well, it's pow pow. Spirit Control 3. There you go. There goes all our karma. Oh, hello. Jin. Or Gin. As you approach the small landing, you see 3 men, 2 elders and a younger man, hunched over a go board. The juxtaposition of the 2 white-haired men, white-bearded man and the black-haired man, is almost comical. Together, the 3 resemble the small black and white stones of their game. Despite the variety of ambient distractions, the 3 men remain acutely focused on the game. One of the elders, a round-faced man with a beatific smile, carefully picks up the black stone and places it on the board. His opponent snorts and a small smile flashes across his long face. Almost carelessly, he snatches a white stone and deposits it on the board. The smiling man groans. The long-faced one proceeds to collect several black pieces off the board. You got me there, Gin. He laughs, a pleasant full sound. As it trails off, he spots you watching the game. A broad smile brightens his cheeks. Hello there, young man. Something you need? The long-faced man gives you a cursory look and continues to collect black stones. Just a gawker, Shu. It's your turn. Don't mind me. I was just watching the game. You know what? No, I'm going to introduce myself. Why, if it isn't the young one from before. Can't you see we're busy? You never mind him. Is there something else you need? Been having any strange dreams recently? I hear that happens around here. What? What a coincidence. It wasn't but an hour ago that we were all discussing that very thing. We've been having bad dreams, every one of us. I've had one myself. We should compare notes. What did you dream about? Is that right? Gid leans in, stares at you. Can't say I'm comfortable giving a stranger's details about my dreams. Don't mind him. He's always been a poor sport. But he raises a good point. Some of our dreams contain information best left private, just as yours do, I'm sure. Having just met, how can we be sure that you'll respect our personal information? I'll tell you. The younger man's voice cuts through the din like a razor, and the elders fall silent. He turns to you and locks his eyes. Dark orbs that burn with piercing scrutiny into yours. He nods and returns his gaze to the go board. I believe you're trustworthy. Please, Stubtoe Williams, make yourself comfortable. I'll share my dream with you. I'm listening. I dreamed of a long, dingy hall. When faced with such a thing, one generally walks its length. So I lifted my right foot and placed it in front of me, but upon taking that first step, I found myself instead drawn down an alleyway to my left. It wasn't there before, this alley. It appeared only as I began to walk. As I moved down the alley, I found myself surrounded by friends and loved ones. They all stood there, silently watching me with smiles on their faces, and as I passed each one of them, they fell to the ground in my wake, dropping like puppets with severed strings. Somehow, I knew that if I followed this road to the end, I could have everything I'd ever dreamed of, but I woke before I could reach it. He folds his hands in his lap. There's a moment of silence before Shu speaks up, the rosiness in his cheeks having drained away. I too saw the long hall. My own experience was different, however. The hall was far off in the distance, and I was looking down on it from a strange angle, as though I were perched on a wall high above. You know, young man, Stubtoe Williams. You look very much like the person I saw walking that hall. He moved steadily down the path, walking at an even pace, and just behind him a great and terrible shadow followed. Of course, I didn't have the best view up there on that wall, or wherever I was. It could have been anyone. Perhaps this old mind of mine is seeing your face now and misremembering the dream. He lets out a chuckle, and a small flush of red returns to his cheeks. He looks over at Gin. All right, Gin, go ahead. I've changed my mind. I don't want to share my dream. Nonsense. Master Lau and I have both told him our dreams, and now it's your turn. Gin sticks out his lower lip. No. I don't want to force you to do anything. He holds his palm up towards you and looks at you. See? Straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have to. Gin, this is important. Gin's mouth opens and closes like a gaping fish, but as he looks at Lau, his body relaxes and a sadness seems to take hold of his features. All right, but don't you go repeating any of this, you hear me? He takes in a deep breath and slowly releases it, folds his hands in his lap. My dream began as a nightmare. I dreamed of the failures and mistakes that I've made throughout my life, the people I've let down, the competitors I've crushed, the wife who died in hospice without me. I dreamed of the family that I abandoned. A change comes over him, his eyes brighten, and he continues energetically. But then I dreamed of the walled city. I stood before it, and its door opened to me. And when I passed inside, all of my guilt fell away. It was as though the city had absolved me, had washed away my guilt, and I remember feeling happy. As his remembrance ends, so does his lightened mood. His face shrinks into a pout, and he stares grumpily at the ground. There, I did it. Happy? Lau nods slowly. Thank you, Gin. You have my thanks, too. Yeah. Now, can we change the subject? My ulcer's acting up. I'm guessing you've been around these parts longer than I have. Is this sort of thing normal? If it were normal, we wouldn't be huddled around discussing them in whispers now, would we? Enough of that, Gin. Stubtoe Williams here asked in earnest for our advice. He deserves a proper response. Shu gives you a gentle smile. Please forgive our friend. Bitter years have left him suspicious of others. The answer to your question is no. Upsetting dreams have never been uncommon in Hioi, but these recent visitations have been different. They've been darker, more vivid, stronger than normal dreams. Last night I felt consumed by the scene that something was coming. While my friends here felt a sense of relief and excitement as their dreams ended, I felt as though I were sitting on the precipice of some vast and terrible chasm, with the void yawning beneath my feet. Suddenly his cheeks flush. He blinks twice and looks away. But perhaps these are just the ramblings of an old man. Please forgive me. He scratches his nose, embarrassed. You speak wisely, Shu. It's foolish to embrace a thing that you do not understand. What Gin and I saw in our dreams was alluring, but so is the light to a moth. Your instincts are still strong and sharp, my old friend. It's wise of you to trust them. Shu bows deeply, his eyes to the ground. Thank you. I can only hope these dreams do lead to something beautiful. There's already enough deception in this world. Gin groans lightly. Can we back to the game now? Well, I don't want to keep you. Of course. Stop by again sometime soon, Stubtoe Williams. Your company has been refreshing. Good luck with your game. Appreciate it, young man. We'll be seeing you soon. Hello? Reliable Matthew? Smooth jazz drifts from cheap speakers on this barge. A wide array of worn-down drones litter the battered deck. Most are utility and domestic types, but a few, cordoned off from the others, are low-end security models. The salesman smiles indulgently at you, a tall, lanky human of clear Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply clutching a smelly cigarello. He adjusts his tie with exaggerated nonchalance. Languid, ostentatious, like an American casino promoter. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our little floating heaven. You've got a discerning look to you. What brings you to Reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar? He taps Ash over a bulky cleaning drone beside him. Not waiting for an answer, he continues. Perhaps you're looking for a hexacopter as a guide to Hong Kong, or a little handheld tarantula beauty to brew your tea? Are you calling me beautiful? You know beautiful. I hope I don't offend. I just can't help it. To me, everybody's beautiful, baby. Right back at you, beautiful. Ho, a man after my own heart. You're Reliable Matthew? That's right, Reliable Matthew Shut at your service. He extends his hand to shake. The odors of peach-scented moisturizer and stale tobacco smoke wash over you. How about you? Pleasure to meet you, Reliable Matthew. As always, always. Welcome to our little patch of peace on the river. I think you'll really love Hioi. It's just a fantastic place. Well, now that we've acquainted, maybe I can brighten up your day a bit. What's on your robot list? Combat models? Reliable Matthew looks over his shoulder at the security drones, some heavily cannibalized in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've just got a Doberman that I'm selling at an incredible bargain price. Shall we take a look? Yes. Let's look at all of them. A drug mule? A mobile pharmacy stocked to the brim with drugs and a dart launcher? Now that's cool. What's this? Some Decker armor? Ballistic nylon street clothes offer a bit of protection as well as many pockets to store tools and data sticks. Well, we gotta find ourselves a shaman shop. Goodbye, Matthew. See you later, beautiful. Anybody in here sell shaman magic? We'll worry about the mission computer in just a little bit. Parlor of the Phases? 5 phases. That's totally where I'd buy magic. Hello, Crafty Zoo. Hello. A mild scent, sweet and slightly herbal, is the first thing you notice upon entering the old shop. Its quarters are cramped, made smaller by the display cases and furniture packed inside. The walls are lined with bookshelves, and the tables and chairs are stacked with old tomes. A few titles jump out at you. Lucid Dreaming, an exploration of the inner self. Dream Logic. Nocturnal Visitations. Overall, the place feels lived in if disorganized. Not quite cluttered, but close. Milling at the front of the store is the shopkeeper, lost in a book of her own. She's tall for a human, probably close to 2 meters in height. Her physique is typical bookworm. Not overweight, but you can't see any muscular definition either. A wraparound tattoo covers her upper arms and shoulders, but from where you're standing you can't quite make it out. She fidgets. Gradually her eyes rise from her book and lock onto you. Welcome. Don't believe I've seen you before. She sets down her book and sweeps a strand of black and pink hair behind her ear. Name's Crafty. Stubtoe Williams. Nice to meet you. She shakes your hand. Her grip is surprisingly firm. So, Stubtoe Williams, what can I do for you? I've got spells, alchemical reagents, foci, whatever you want, really. Might have to do some digging to find it, but if it's magical, it's around here somewhere. Is this your store? It's mine. I inherited it from my mom. As you can see, she generously left me all her research journals. Her words are thick with sarcasm. Mom was never a big cleaner, but neither am I. My mom used to keep spirits around that helped her manage the place. They're not here anymore, but sometimes I swear my books aren't where I last placed them. Who knows? Maybe they pop by for visits. I just wish they'd clean while they were here. What makes your store so special? It's old, respectable, built over a dragon lion. She slightly tilts her head to the side. We also carry text unavailable anywhere else, but I guess for me, I'm drawn to this place by nostalgia. You don't sound thrilled. It's a job, can't complain. What's the name of the store? It's a cultural thing. The 5 phases represent wood, earth, water, fire, and metal. Some people believe they're the basis of how things function and interact in this world. You'll find it practiced all throughout China in disciplines ranging from farming to science, even music. The theory isn't common among younger generations, but it has its uses. My mother was strongly influenced by it. In fact, our sign out front is a visual repetition of the 5 phases. It was an inspiration to her. Yeah. Question about something. What are you selling? Just what are you selling? Shamanic ritual garb. Yeah, that looks like something I'd wear. These tattered robes would impart little protection if not for the latent magic still imbued in them. Spell focus. What is this? An initiate level blood magic practiced by the mages of Aslan. If the target is damaged by the spell. Ooh. Blood magic. Interesting. Where's your shaman shit? There we go. Air barrier. Armor is for shamans? Do I own armor? Target gains +2 armor while I own it now. Confirm. Equip. Confirm. Anything else? Thanks, Crafty. See you around. What do I look like now? Holy shit. I look like a fucking statue. Neat.